Going on here? This EverQuest PvP on the PvP server? No freaking way. Interrupted. We're gonna try it again. Let's interrupt him again. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah, the bash missed. Well, that was a good try. Anyways, what's going on? Hey, I got a topic I want to discuss today. That topic is the agreement. What's called the agreement with quotes, right? That's what it's called. There's now a couple agreements. Agreement that we know, an agreement that we can imply a lot about now that we know, right? You know what I'm talking about. Some of the daybreak agreements. They have an agreement with Quorum. That's the big news today. Everybody's talking about it. I'm talking about it. I'm sure a lot of people are talking about it. But if you're not aware, there was a post very early this morning. Let's go find it. Hold on. Pulling it up right now. Visit the site. Anyway, this is the PvP server. This is Red 99, but I'm talking about right now Project Quorum, right? Here's the post here. It's posted by Here Father, a user on Reddit, and they're quoting the Quorum Discord. Okay, this is all a quote. We have some exciting news to share with all of you. As some of you may be aware, Project Quorum has been offline for a few weeks now. Taking down the server was performed as a show of good faith to Daybreak Game Company. Following this, we reached out to Daybreak Game Company to discuss our options for an agreement similar to the one Project 1999 had created, began to explore options. As hardcore fans of their games, we've always strived to promote the official game of EverQuest that we all love. We'd like to personally thank all the folks at Daybreak for this opportunity. As a result of our discussion, and here this is in bold and italics, right? We have entered into a written agreement with Daybreak Game Company LLC. This agreement formally recognizes Project Quorum as a personal, non-commercial, not-for-profit, fan-based, private server and establishes the guidelines that we as a project must follow. This agreement will allow us to continue to update the game without risk of legal repercussions. As a lifelong fan of over 23 years, it is an incredible privilege to have had this consideration. We are honored to share in our love of EverQuest with our community. Project Quorum will also be fast-forwarding to the server to Lucklin when it returns. Fast-forwarding the server to Lucklin when it returns. That's also in bold right there, that part. Please stay tuned for more information about the server's return within the coming weeks. So it's not up yet, right? Project Quorum contains a number of changes to the base game that make various changes to the base game of EverQuest through the EverQuest Planes of Power expansion. Some of these modifications, however, were determined to be a step too far for a personal, non-commercial, fan-based, private server. As such, we are asked to remove specific items as part of our agreement. These are the following items. Chilogan, what's going on? Hey, you're just in time. We're just going to start over here. Okay, here's the list of items, okay? And when they're using the words items, they're using it as like line items and not like EverQuest inventory items that you pick up and drop. Because when you hear this list, here's the items. Custom zones, Mariah's Domain, Shard of Decay, Plane of Injustice, and Fireclad Ocean. I'm not a Quorum player, so I wasn't even aware that there was a Plane of Injustice or a Fireclad Ocean. I like this. This is cool. Not anymore. It's gone. There's a few other servers being taken down as well. You hear, hey, where are you hearing that, Chilogan? Let's see some receipts. I'll read them out loud right now. Custom raid encounters of Kati Shah has been removed, right? This is as per agreement. Also, the custom player race and class unlocks, right? No more Ixar rogues. And that also removes their related items and NPCs. No more Ixar Rangers. Also, related items and NPCs. You can no longer do the quest to become a Wood Elf Beast Lord or use any of their items or NPCs. And the Froglock race and their associated graphical updates and illusion items. Um, and also item tinting / armor fixing. All got the axe, right? As per agreement. That's I'm gonna hold my comments for the end, but take a specific note of some of that right there, especially. We may remove extra editions on request by Daybreak Game Company at any time. Okay, a little disclaimer there. As part of the agreement, Project Quorum was asked by Daybreak Game Company to implement a player cap of 1,200 players. Additional players past this point will be placed in a queue. However, we additionally obtained permission to add offline bazaar trading to the game on launch of the Luckland expansion. Note, players in the offline bazaar do not count against the player cap. And then here's the disclaimer at the end. After the quote, Project Quorum is operated solely as a personal, non-commercial, not-for-profit, fan-based private server. Project Quorum is not associated or affiliated in any way with Daybreak Game Company LLC. Okay, that's the whole post. First comment. The way it's presented as like somebody just found this announcement and they're sharing it. But then the way the disclaimer is after the quote like that, it leads me to believe that it is an official announcement. So, okay, that's a little weird. It makes me want to check into other posts by this user, but we're getting a little off topic if I'm doing that. Let's stay on topic of EQ. Anyway, these tree ants are off limits. Nobody's gonna come kill these tree ants while I'm watching here, and I'm watching very carefully. You might think I'm reading my phone, looking at Reddit, trying to stay up to date on current EverQuest events, but no. I'm occupying South Karana. It is orc friends, you know. Emperor Crush is laying claim over here. Anyways, there's more. How did I miss all this? Okay, I missed the custom expansion. Has also been X'd. Terror of Seoul. Gone completely incomplete quests. What does that mean? Kunark Archaeologist. Completing incomplete quests like Unused Purpose of Vasoon, Ixar Cudgel, etc. Addition of Ixar quests similar to that of Cudgel, Shackle for Ixar Road and Ranger. Okay. I guess those are also removed, but they didn't like fit into one of the other categories. Okay. Comments. If anybody wants to give your comments, it's a good time to. This is the official announcement here. Or this is the Reddit report of the official announcement. Zilkril, you're spamming the tilted emote. That tells it all right there. I know how you're feeling about it. Some of the comments here. Before I get to my own comment, we can browse the general feel of it, right? We can take a little, sampling of the Reddit comments here. If these are the limitations they're imposing on Project Quorum, no wonder they're nuking THJ from orbit. Seems like custom content is one of the big landmines here, another user says. It appears they don't want eras mixed, right? The Froglocks, the Kunark Archaeologist quest line, whatever that means. But here's somebody who got downvoted, right? One user says, which is weird because legally we can do what we want with our games. We can mod them. THJ is all custom code. Assuming they aren't running actual copyright code on the server side, legally I think they meant DBG. They put DPG. So it doesn't have much of a leg to stand on. And then they put in quotes, assuming no money is made. Well, I mean, money was made, right? So they do have, obviously, a leg to stand on. I think that the unintended consequence of this going to harm the EQEMU community going forward. This is setting precedent. Quorum arguably just got a far worse deal than what P99 has, according to this one downvoted user. The character limits thing is huge. Basically kneecaps any popular emu, and they will use this agreement to shut down other projects in the future. And this person says, I think Secrets just unintentionally did us dirty. I suppose we'll see. This is the thoughts of a user. But They got downvoted, and they said a lot of things that potentially got them that downvote. Right? Uh, anyways, this is just what Reddit thinks. Zilkeril is tilted a little bit. Right, a little tilted. Sunday Online guy says, I bet Secret's bathroom smells crazy. What's your bathroom smell like, Sunday Online guy? Come on. We all got bathrooms. And they all smell like those little seashell soaps. Right? That's the goal. You know, that's the standard. That's the bar. Okay. Here's what I think. I think this is a little concerning. All the the things that were really, really, really about to draw me in over there. You know, as far as yeah, it's not a red server, but it's a you know, it's an EverQuest server, and as such, I think I would enjoy it here and there. And the Froglock thing had me really intrigued, right? Froglocks were the way they should be, right? The models we love, the old world Froglocks, but they can wear robes. There was stuff. There was a lot going for it. This Shadow Wolf's acting weird, huh? So here's the thing. Swish, what's going on? Here's the thing I think. Let's make a silent move over here. Better than a blank screen. Let's get in a zone where there's a little action potentially. Here's what I think. I think if Daybreak is putting the boot to the throats of these servers, you know what I mean, and getting rid of things that people are enjoying, right? Or things that people are excited for. If they implement it themselves, then I think the community is made whole, right? Or kept whole. But if they say, no, you can't have robe-wearing Froglocks. Froglocks are supposed to look like this, and they're supposed to backflip when they cast. You know what I mean? Then I don't really care for that, right? They're taking away. Or the hardcore mode, right? The big that was like the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, right? Like that was like the shot heard round the world or whatever. Is that the same thing? Was the shot heard round the world that shot, or was it something else? Anyway, my point is, if you're super immersed in EverQuest, this is like World War One, right? We're in it. We're in it. Like the shot has been fired, and now we're we're gonna see where the new country lines get drawn, and I guess this could be the end of the Ottoman Empire or something. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know enough about what's going on with THJ. Any THJ enjoyers that could chime in right now? The shart heard around the world. That was something else. Yeah, that was something else. How you doing, Fartotron? So yeah, the 1200 cap, you don't think that's going to get anybody to load into Fangbreaker instead of waiting? I mean, that's the thing. People want to log in the tunes they want to log in. A lot of us have had, you know, accounts on retail EverQuest long before we started playing on EQ Emu servers. The shot heard around the world started the Revolutionary War. Thank you, Dankton. We're all learning today. No thanks to me. I'm just saying words. But anyway, what do you guys think about this the Quorum agreement? And I was teasing earlier that there's now multiple agreements, right? Daybreak is they're dealing. They're wheeling and dealing. The Quorum agreement is above board on the table, so we, you know, at least this part of it is. Maybe there's some money that we're not being told about, right? Maybe they're, as long as they're, you know, we're saying it's not for profit, et cetera, et cetera. So, okay, there's no money, right? So this is the whole deal, right? On the table, above board. So what does Project 1999's deal look like in that case? What would you say? Oh, what's goody, guys? I didn't even know they were in here. I'm in here like looking for PvP. What do you think? One like and I will attack my guild. No, I'm just kidding. They're getting nervous. They hear that and they're gonna start. Um, it's not good for your P99 Orange Dream. So okay, Zilkaril, this update, you say this update really made me pessimistic about P99 fresh servers though. You said Secrets said part of the agreement is no new servers. Yes, I saw you linked that. That was in the Quorum Discord, right? That was not reported on in Reddit. Is there any other fresh drops in the Quorum Discord that would be relevant for conversation right now? Feel free to drop them in the Discord so I could, we'll read them together. Let's look at this. So this was at 8:21. So this was several hours or a few hours after that other announcement. Secret says the queue needs to be able to prioritize players with a specific criteria, i.e. level, time played. It needs to be somewhat double-ended. It picks from both sides of the queue. New players, low levels. And Stringer in the Discord had asked, Secrets, out of interest, was there any clause that prohibits you from relaunching fresh once POP has gone stale? Secret said, yes, we are not allowed to launch another server. Secret said that, right? So part of this announcement makes it sound like Secrets reached out to Daybreak, right? Secrets was working very proactively, not reactively. They weren't waiting for Daybreak to take the first action, right? This is what we're led to believe anyway. I told them I'm not gonna hit a single mob. I'm an ally over here. Anyway, can you wipe an existing server? Captain Longwhistle, that's exactly what they were asking. They were asking Secrets if they could wipe Quorum and launch it fresh down the line, and Secrets said no. But that wasn't part of the original post, which means there's more to the agreement, right? We're not seeing the whole agreement. We're getting a synopsis of approved for public viewing version. You know what I mean? You don't think the 1200 cap really matters? Quorum was peaking about 900 to 1100 before it went down. Biggest peaks are during expansion launches. That's a good point, Chilogan. That's a good point. The 1200 cap is, I mean, it's almost like having a line. You know, you have a nightclub and you want people to go to it. You got to have people waiting in line, right? Make it look like it's really popping in there. By saying you can only have 1,200 people on my server, I think Secrets is almost like trying to generate a little hype, almost, especially if 1,200 is that lofty. And once the Bazaar traders don't count, I think that would make a huge difference. They hit 1,200 from Kunark and Velius launches, but not after that. Interesting. So what do you think about them going straight into Lucklin without much fanfare, right? They're just going to relaunch in Lucklin. Like, they'll come back and... What do you think about that? It was close to 1,500. Oh, wow. That's a lot. This agreement is good as I was not a fan of the custom content, but it just makes you not like Daybreak. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. We're getting this agreement from like it's like third-hand information, right? Let's take everything at face value. We have no reason to assume anything other than what we're reading, right? And what we're reading is that somebody saw the official announcement on the Discord, right? Did anybody in chat see this firsthand in the Quorum Discord? I'm actually not in the Quorum Discord. I thought I was. But did you see it firsthand? Was this like word for word? The Reddit post is copied and pasted from Discord without any changes. I don't want to like misquote anything because I'm getting it third hand. Cool to see a lot of the custom content is gone, but not enough to bring you back. Really, the custom content was not a benefit. You don't think? Seems word for word. All right, thank you, thank you. I just so we're to assume that we're getting everything straight from Secret's mouth, right? Which is the Project Quorum side of things. We got it from Daybreak's lawyer's mouth with the THJ agreement, right? Because it's like on the record. It's like the agreement is court ordered. This quorum agreement, like the P99 agreement, is what I would like to call a back room agreement, right? Like they're doing it. Secrets is being a lot more transparent than Rogan ever had been about the agreement. But I don't know if we'll ever know the whole thing. But we could speculate wildly, right? I think there's a lot we can infer about the P99 agreement from what we're seeing with this one. Maybe no new servers, right? What, like, who was around when Green launched or Teal or whatever? Was there any sort of static with Daybreak then? Did anything go down? I wasn't playing. I was fully retired from EverQuest at the time when Green launched. I came back about 3 years ago now. Time flies when you're having fun. There was no static with Daybreak. Okay, so if they had static to have an agreement, it was probably before that. Teal isn't a new server if Rogan decided to turn it on again. That's a interesting technicality there, Swish. The original idea was Green would launch and eventually Green 2.0 would launch and then they recycle into Green. Okay. And that obviously has not happened. I see people like asking for it. I see people, not getting responses they like back about it. But let's see here. I'm almost halfway through 55. I wouldn't mind, leeching some free XP from from everybody. Right? You cool with that, you guys? You down? Just chilling. Oh, is Touch Me trying to follow me? No, don't follow me. Follow these guys. Full group. So I'm actually helping, right? I'm giving them the full group bonus. If another flower comes, I'll give up my spot. But I feel like I'm on guard duty. That's a very authentic role. So, what's wrong with the custom content on Quorum? I'm seeing this general sentiment on Reddit too. Maybe it was just you guys posting on Reddit, but you guys are saying the custom content is a detriment. Reddit's saying it's a detriment. What is the custom content? What's so bad about it? I gotta know. But I mean, honestly, I think it's very clear that the P99 agreement says they can't do a new server, right? That's why he doesn't even answer us because he doesn't want to talk about the agreement and it's in the agreement, right? I think like his lack of action over the past I don't know how long, many years, I would say kind of implies a lot. Custom zones with XP bonuses, free loot pinatas. A lot of classic purist quit Quorum because of that stuff. On top of changing the stats of items, instances. Hey, Rogan does a lot. I know. I love that song. That's a banger. I think that YTMD we listened to a couple weeks ago was also a Smeedy banger, right? I don't know who uploaded it on YTMND, but it sounded like his style, you know? So I think that was probably Smeedy. That's just my guess. Let's see. So the classic purists don't like loot pinatas. That's so weird. YTMND, now that's blast from the past. Yeah, what was the... Oh, it was the pixel lagger. Some kind of fucking pixel lagger. That's what it was called. Hold on, let me try to find it. Oh shit, it's just gonna like autoplay. Hold on.
Yeah, some sort of fucking packet interference that they got.
Oh, that's what it is.
I don't know. I don't cheat. I don't fucking know how these dudes cheat.
The best explanation that Juke has been able to give me is that they're not running MQ. It's some kind of fucking packet lagger.
Packet interference.
Packet lagger advantage. Yeah, thank you, Swish.
Yeah,
That's the one. That's the one. I think, was that a Smeedy? It feels like a Smeedy track to me. Anyways, shout out to Smeedy either way. It's definitely him, yeah. I know his style when I hear it, and I love his style. Let's check what's outside, right? I'm gonna keep an eye out. Knowledge is power. I'm gonna give my group the power of knowledge right now by looking outside. Because I'm not helping anyway. I'm ally status down here. I did not do all that just to go kill a bunch of stuff and ruin my faction. Back in. Anyways, so that was basically what I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to react to the Quorum agreement. I wanted to you know, kind of speculate with all of you what you think that means about P99. I mean, you already said it, and I already said it. We already know. We know exactly what that means, and I think it's a little disheartening. But who knows? Maybe we'll be proven wrong someday. I don't think that Daybreak is gonna add the things that they're forbidding, right? They just don't want the competition. Like, if there's an agreement with P99, it's not like they launched an authentic classic server, you know, to make up for the fact that they're hobbling the passion project. That, you know, no. And I don't think that fares well for hardcore or self-found modes. Right? They put the boot on THJ's neck and said you can't do that. And I was saying I hope that means that Daybreak is going to do that, right? Because they're like taking the good ideas. I think they're just preventing the good ideas. This is what I'm thinking now. You know, now that it's all coming together. So I don't think we're going to get beautiful froglocks with the robes. You know, Quorum showed us what should have been And Daybreak said, "Nuh-uh, you didn't see that, right?" Anyways, a little disheartening. It's a disheartening day, I think. According to Quorum, they could still do solo slash self-found slash hardcore. So is that hard coded though? Is it like a checkbox that you or something like do you activate a mode and then it's or is it just kind of like a community enforced slash honor system, right? Because I feel like nobody could stop you from playing hardcore mode. You talk to the priest of Discord level 1 to get flagged for this. Really? Okay. That's interesting. So why didn't they let THJ do that? Why did they specifically almost seemed like they freaked out over that specific uh line item, you know what I mean? I don't know. I should say it almost seems like that because I don't know exactly what they were thinking when they were thinking it. Um really. You can't buy anything off vendors. Wow. I'm assuming you could buy like stuff that's always on vendors, right? Just okay, player sold stuff from vendors. Yeah, it makes sense. Because otherwise, like, how you gonna eat? How you gonna drink? You better forage. You better bind that forage key to your freaking, whatever key you hit the most. I hear a deafening roar. Anyway, we started out the stream out in South Carolina. There's a troll shaman farming tree ants, and if they were gonna bind something they needed to use to any key, I would suggest binding it to their gate key because they're so fast with that gate. You know what I mean? I've yet to stop them from gating, right? Which is why I say so often EverQuest PvP is not to the kill. So when you see a yellow text, right, you got to praz that because it means something. Because so often the fights end short of that, right? A player gates, a player plugs, you know, things happen that prevent the yellow text one way or another. So when you actually see the yellow text, you know somebody got there. Anyways, it's CHEWSDAY, right? Happy CHEWSDAY. Just getting started, playing a little EQ. To be honest, I don't know if this is what I choose to play today. I might mess around with some of the Steam games I downloaded, but since we were talking EQ, I wanted to have EQ, for your eyes. Your EQ for your ears, EQ for your eyes, and you know, if we're done talking about the Quorum agreement, we can be done talking about the Quorum agreement. But if there's still more to say, sound off. I don't want to change topics when you got something on the tip of your tongue. Zilkaril has been personally affected by the Quorum happenings, right? You're kind of like you've been displaced, right? You used to have a home there, and then you were displaced, and we've given you a home here on Red, and I want you to keep that in mind, Zilkaril. That Red is here, right? No matter what happens with Quorum, we understand. We had a Quorum player roll up from the lockdown. Yeah. It's great. It's excellent. This server has grown by at least one due to the events. I'm glad you're having a lot of fun on Red. It's a fun server. It's a little thrilling. Unfortunately, right nowadays, it's like, I don't want to say the dark ages, but there's only 17 players online. In a game with more than 17 zones, you do the math. There's a lot of empty space right now. So the more the merrier. Come on down. We are not at capacity. We could fit like 2 groups in Safe Hall, right? That's about capacity. And we got probably 0 players in Safe Hall. You know what I'm saying? Like we could fit a bunch more. 2 to 3 to 4 of them active, you say. Good, good. Welcome. Welcome aboard, all, anyone who's had to find a new home over here, even if it's just temporary. I hope that the time you spent on Red gives you a little taste, a little appreciation for what we do over here. What we do is EverQuest, plus it's the PvP server. It's still EverQuest. I don't know. I feel like I try to cope with the bad rep. I try to make sense of the hate posting, all that stuff. And maybe people think we're like, we spawn with the gear and we're just like playing Counter-Strike in, EverQuest zones. I don't know if they must not understand that we actually have to like, get this gear. We have to ding. We do all the stuff they do, but we're just doing it while checking like who's in the zone and, being extra paranoid and always looking over our shoulders and stuff. It's still EverQuest. Nah, it's Contra. You're right. You're right. Contra was pretty lit. I always enjoyed that. I was young. I would only play it at like on an arcade machine. That one was like common to find. I was like too young for arcades, let's say. Like most of the arcades, I saw them when I was very young, and by the time I was like old enough to be able to go to the arcade with my own quarters, not like somebody's birthday party or something like that. Like there were no more arcades, unfortunately, but you would still see like cabinet games every now and then, right? And there was a lot of times you'd see this one that was like a multi cabinet or whatever. It'd have like Mario, Goonies 2, Contra, a few other games, but I would use Metroid. I liked Contra on that one. Those were good. I'd see that a lot when I was like a lot younger, but a little older. So it wasn't called Contra in the UK. They called it Probotector. Okay. They have Burger King in the UK. How do you guys keep it straight? How do you know which one's which Royal Highness you're supposed to like salute or whatever? I don't know. What do you guys do? Well, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but what do you guys do if like royalty is strolling by? Do you gotta like take a knee or something? I'm assuming we don't have a king over here, or I don't know. We didn't used to. I don't know the rules yet. How they keep... McDonald's isn't cheap over here either. Swish it. They forgot their role. Listen, don't get me started on my McDonald's crash out. Pandu TP will get in here and tell me to stop. I'm just kidding. You never saw King Charles in a BK? Well, he was probably in the ball pit. That's where I would be. Remember ball pits? I used to love that. When I was a kid, I'd be in the ball pit, like feeling on the bottom, trying to find like forgotten tokens. Right? Or I'd be playing whack-a-mole, ski ball, or whatever. What's that one called? Was it called skee ball? It's like kind of like bowling with a little ball, and you try to get it like into ball pits. I said it again. Let's hear the Quorum perspective. Well, skeet ball, yeah. You got a skee ball placed in your hood, Captain Long Whistle? That's what's up. You guys play like Candlepin up there or whatever? I've heard of these things. The local bowling here is duck pin, but I feel like that's going extinct. Not yet on the candle pen. Gotcha. You got a level 26 hardcore necro on Quarm. He can't die because he's already dead. There you go. There you go. Hardcore hack. Um, so Keyhouse 91. You want to hear the Quarm perspective? I think it's unfortunate what's happening to you guys, you know? Like things are being shaken up. I feel for you, you know? I do. I feel for you. And I am curious on your take on the custom content, right? Because a lot of people are breathing a sigh of relief that all the custom content's being removed, it sounds like. Is it the loot pinata as it's been called or whatever? Like is it the custom stuff not classic for you, or do you enjoy the custom content? And are you therefore kind of sad that it's all getting removed as per agreement? Because that's the part I find the most interesting. I think I find the no new servers footnote the most concerning, but I find the community reaction to the removal of custom content the most interesting, because I would, as an outsider, I would have thought like that would be the one of the worst parts. Like, oh no, we don't have all these custom zones anymore, all these quest lines and stuff, all this like different loot. I would think that's a good thing to have. But I don't know. I'm getting some decent XP. Thanks, guys. Taffy's not sure he'd jump in a ball pit. He thinks people pee in them. I had not considered this. When I was a kid, there used to be like indoor adventure courses or something, let's call them. I don't know. Maybe they still got stuff like this, but I used to love this stuff. This is my favorite place to go for, children birthday parties as a child. Places that had not only the ball pit, but maybe like a little trampoline room and like tubes, just like picture like a hamster setup with tubes, but like for kids. I used to love that stuff. I'd be like trying to climb through the tube as fast as I could. Um, like for the whole time. I would just be like, because when else was I going to be able to fly through tubes like that, Discovery Zone. Yeah, yeah, that was the name of one of them. Yep. I went to a Discovery Zone. That one was out of town. That one was like kind of far. We might have been like on a vacation or something when we stopped at a Discovery Zone. But anyway, let me at least watch these guys play EverQuest so you can see some interesting. CHEWSDAY. Wow, that would be fun. Yeah, when do they make larger tubes for adults? Because like, I would do that. I'd totally tube it up. There has to be adult size. It's like we can't be the only ones that would do it. The place would make a little money, at least a little bit of money. Maybe not enough to live, but tubes, big tubes. Here's my thought. Here's my thought about it. Let's think logistics of adult-sized Discovery Zone. Um, Children are smaller than adults, right? So that's why we would need adult-sized tubes. Adult-sized tubes would be bigger. Bigger tubes are going to need more hardware and more raw material to make. They're going to be more expensive. The building that you house it in, like, is going to limit your tubage, right? You need a big building to fit the big tubes. I don't know. I want to believe, but the more I think about it, the more outlandish it sounds. They would probably charge like so much money for like a day pass or whatever, and then they'd build it, and I'd see how much it costs. I'd be like, ah, I'm not doing that. That's too expensive. Not worth it. And then they'd close down, and and then you got to find the tubes in the trash and build your own for free, right? That's what we do. So they need to build it. Anyways, I might go check another zone out. It's been nice leeching a little XP, but I am a little curious what else is going on in the world. Let's check outside first, though. I'm trying to bail right before the action finally gets here. Right? It takes time to get to Chardock. If somebody's watching and they're like, "Oh, I'm totally jumping this group," they would have needed to find a port. They would have had to run a couple, little jogs. But I feel like they would have been here by now. Anyway, let's make a silent move. Who's online? Let's try to guess where people are. Let's try to, let's see if we can find somebody. Making a silent move, moving in silent. Nobody knows where I'm about to pop in. Not even you guys, because I'm not telling you this time. It's a secret. I'm just getting started on this silent move over here. You and Bogtrot are hunting Cool Man. That's what's up. Any luck? You got the placeholder locked down yet? That's the most important part. Once you get the placeholder locked down, it falls into place. You get all the cloaks you need. No. Well, that'll certainly put a damper on it. Do you have a ranger there? What's the making moves wallpaper from? I don't know. That's like Helen Hunt or something. Or Meryl Streep. It was at some awards show or something, and I don't know. I just thought it was a really funny, like, no ranger there, Captain Longwhistle. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna find Quillmane because anything can happen, but you're gonna have a lot easier time finding Quillmane with a ranger. At least one ranger, if not two rangers. It's just to make it easier. But it could happen. It could happen. Once you do find Quillmane, definitely get a ranger there so that you can find out what pops next. Because otherwise you'll have to find it all over again. You lucked upon him and got a cape. One kill, one cape. That happened to my friend Loragoo too on his rogue. I think it was his rogue. Trill. He logged into South Karana after not playing for like a while, and he was just like passing through, and there was Quillmane flapping by, and he kills it and got his freaking cloak. That's not usually how it goes for people, right? You usually actually have to you know somebody has to put in some work usually. But if the server repops, who knows? You might get a Quillmane on the pop. We got a Quillmane on the pop one time on stream, but I had been farming it for like hours trying to lock it down. I think we did finally lock it down before the server crashed, and that's why we were like really bummed because it took a long time to get it locked down. Server comes back up and it's Quillmane's up with the cloak. It was wonderful. Brad bless. That was a while ago. Oh, what am I doing? Why am I fighting this like a chump? Not what I do. Why is this thing so slow? Oh, because I snared it. Wow. That thing is done. Kill the placeholder. See what pops. And kill another placeholder. It's CHEWSDAY, Tuesday. Today I choose to talk about a little EQ. We're playing a little EQ while we talk. But you know, I might do a Slay the Spire run, honestly. I have a goal. It's not a lofty goal, it's a very reasonable goal. In Slay the Spire, I want to win with the defect deck. I've done it before. I used to play Slay the Spire on PlayStation. And Defect's one of my favorite decks. For some reason, I can't string a win together ever since I bought it on Steam with the Defect deck. I've gotten to the boss several times. I had a wonderful build going to the boss fight recently. But unfortunately, during the boss fight, it was the Time Lord one. And, you know, every 12 cards, he takes a new turn. And, you know, in the 36 cards I was able to play, he killed me in 3 turns. It was just, it is what it is. I didn't have enough block power or whatever, you know. I just couldn't survive the attacks. If I was fighting a different boss, well, it would have been fine because my deck was like a combo deck. I could play like, I probably could have killed it in 1 turn if it didn't, you know, end the turn after 12 cards. It's just is how it is, you know. There's 3 different options for the last boss. You don't know what you're gonna get, and that was what I got that time. So, you know, that was my closest to a win, and that was last night. So, you know, I'm feeling good. I'm ready. I know how to play that deck. I like the Defect. So the Defect's the one that has the orbs. You do like orb tech. And Slay Spire's a great game. You just suck at it. Yeah, it's tough. It's like unfairly tough, or at least that's what I used to think until I started playing Balatro, and then I was like, oh, Slay Spire wasn't so bad. This one was friggin' absolutely crazy. Just how the difficulty ramps. You know what I mean? Like Slay the Spire, you know, World 1's gonna be easy. World 2's gonna be a little tougher. World 3 is gonna be hard. You know, the boss fights are the hard parts. And, you know, the elite battles are going to be tough. You know basically what you're in for. Balatro, it's like, you know what you're in for also. And it's just like, the chart is like this. It just gets so steep, the difficulty to beat it. Anyways. You just got to have, you know, you not only have to build the right deck, you have to draw the right cards in both games. So a lot of opportunity to, you know, not. Let's make another silent move. Not much going on out here. I'm gonna make sure nobody's in Guck. Alright, nobody, listen, don't tell them. If they're in Guck, let them sit there thinking everything's sweet. Let them sit there. Because, guess what? It ain't sweet, I'm coming. Occupy Guck. Anyway, the thing I am the most upset about with the Quorum agreement, the Froglock stuff, right? That was like almost enough to get me to play over there. I was seriously debating it just for, you know, to live life the way it should be lived. You know, the way Froglock should look. It's disappointing. All right, we got nothing. No Shadow Raider. The playable ones look like aliens. I know. So that's the thing. Like, Daybreak knew Quarm would be too powerful with the Guktan Froglock models. They knew. They knew they couldn't compete with that. That's what it really boils down to. Anyways. Out here in Aethyl Swamp. As you can see, it's a happy zone. Nothing but flowers of happiness. Miles around right now. Right before the stream when I had like the starting soon screen on. I was in South Row. I checked Oasis. I was looking for a spot to pop in. Get some PvP right in the beginning of the stream. You know, if I can make it happen. That's usually the best time for it to happen. And yeah, we did. We got into a little PvP if you consider a player gating immediately PvP. It was riveting PvP in that case. But it's alright. You gotta do what you gotta do. I wouldn't want to get harm touched by a friggin' orc friend either. Because you know I got harm touch up. A little scuffle, yeah. They didn't fight back. I know it was a shaman because that's the only kind of troll that can gate. But you know, if it was a race that could play multiple casters, like high elf or human or something, I wouldn't even know what class they were because I've only ever seen them gate. You know, ever. It is what it is. Like I said, I wouldn't want to. I don't know if I would want the smoke. I'd maybe do a little. Into a little. I better see a happy zone down here. I swear. If there's any invaders in Lower Guk, I'm gonna go berserk. Happy zone. Whew. I was about to type something in guild chat.
There he is.
Hey, thank you for that follow. Appreciate that. We're just over here, you know, we're just getting started. I had to make sure I'm on patrol, making sure nobody's messing around in, you know, places they're not supposed to be. This is a restricted area. Nobody's allowed in Lower Guk anymore. They haven't been allowed, and they will continue to not be allowed. Keep this zone happy, right? Flowers of happiness only in Lower Guk, or Upper Guk, or in Aethyl Swamp, or Grob, or the Firot, Kazakh Thul, South Row. It's all off limits, you know? If it's in Southeast Antonica, it's off limits. If it's Chardok, I don't know. Call it Ain't Tonica because it's off limits. I love that. That's really funny. I I like to get on here and talk shit sometimes because I gotta prove that they don't want the smoke. It's not like I'm over here playing nice and kissing any rings. No, no, no. They don't want the smoke, straight up. Boom with a big yes. All right, let's get these buffs refreshed. Everything's fading. Everything's fading at once. That's how it goes, huh? Call it Ain't Tonica. That's really funny. I might have to use that one. Hurley. Where is everybody? Where's Treble? Just want to talk to him. It's trademarked. Let's see here. It's a pretty happy server right now. That's my issue. I'm not going to find any opposition when, the only players online right now are level 1, level 1, level 1. Flowers of Happiness, so many of them. And Treble, and this one. Sainami. Who's Sainami? Daybreak's Online 1, uh-oh. The red phone is ringing. Alright. Looks like Lower Guck is secure. We'll pocket those gargoyle eyes for later, right? They go straight in the stash. Straight in the stack, straight in the stash. Joining this adamantite epilot. And this executioner's axe, you know? This is wonderful, you know? God bless. It's Roscoe Jenkins. What's going on? Hey, it's CHEWSDAY. We're just getting started over here just in time. I rambled and I rumbled and I grumbled and next thing you knew, we pretty much talked about everything about this quorum agreement that there is to talk about. At least I can't think of anything else to talk about, right? We could read it again, see if we missed anything, but I don't think there was too much that we didn't really go over in depth. Let's check it real quick. Hey, I'm checking the Discord right now, right? Speaking of the Discord, let me get you something. Let me give you a little gift here. Yeah, when is Stasis gonna take down his server? His, to be on the up and up. He better get groveling to Daybreak right now. I'm just kidding. Anyway, that link to the Discord right there, I'm gonna pin it. Okay, consider this your personal invitation. This is a gift from me to you. Come on down. The water's fine. You're gonna love it. It's called the Swamp. It's the place to be, and it's a place for discussion. It's a place for exchanging ideas. It's really, it's just the place to be, and the water's just fine. So anyway, this is where we were talking about this earlier. This is where I found the link, or this is where I'm going to go back to the official agreement. All right, blah blah blah. So the custom zones are out. Had anybody been to Plane of Injustice? I'm hearing Loot Pinata Is that how it goes in these custom zones? Um, Item tinting slash armor fixes is one of the things that was X'd. That sounds unfortunate, right? Item tinting is honestly like I think a custom change I could get behind, right? I feel like some of these items are just the wrong tint. Just fix the tint. What is Daybreak afraid of? Right? What would happen if all of a sudden, embroidered black sleeves had a black tint? What are they afraid of? Anyways, I don't know if that's an example of the item tint, but that's what I think of. You had a full set of pink armor in your Shami and Lucklin back when. Yeah, I mean you could do dyes, right? You could do armor dyes in classic even, but it's for fine plate. If you wanted to dye other stuff, I think it was what expansion added that? Yukisha? I feel like it was added pretty early, but like, so far beyond P99 timeline that it might as well be like the buried sea, you know what I mean? But I feel like it was pretty early. Um the cap of 1200 players. Do you think that people are going to troll Quarm players by just trying to occupy the server? Do you think that's going to be an actual issue? It is not pronounced Looseland. This has been officially debunked, right? By me. Lucklin, officially. Um anyways, let me hop on well adjusted. Now Mountains of Wrath. We're getting a little outside Southeast Antonica now, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it off limits. This is off limits too. We'll see. Good. Don't. You love to see it. In this house. It's Lucklin, and I say Spirit of Wolf is Sal. That's what I would call it. Luckily, you don't have to say the word too often, unless you go on Twitch and start talking about EverQuest. In which case, you might say Sal, and then people are gonna be like, I say so. But listen, it rhymes with wow, okay? Sal, wow. Cow. Exactly. Exactly. Captain Longwhistle gets it. Captain Longwhistle freaking gets it. Alright. Okay, what's next? What's next? Making silent move, moving in silence. I'm thinking CHEWSDAY, right? I get to choose. We're still gonna talk about EverQuest. I can't because I don't shut up about it. I'm very immersed, okay? It's a feature, not a bug. My immersion, that is. Anyways, see if this works. It does. It does work. Let's freaking play. Like I said, I'm struggling. I am. Roscoe Jenkins. It does not. You take it back. Okay, so this is the defect. I said I'm going to talk about EverQuest. I might struggle to talk about EverQuest while I'm actively like playing this. Remove 2 cards. I'm trying to play it quick too. Anyway, this is Slay the Spire. I love this game. It's fun. I haven't won with the defect deck yet. That's an easy achievement for me to farm right now. Just win with the defect deck. All I gotta do. I unlock an achievement. So, wish me luck. Gotta get the right cards for the deck, and then I gotta draw the right cards when I need them. That's the hard part. Basically, the stars gotta align. But yeah, Luckland. It's actually official. Somebody was able to, because I started this debate on stream, and then this is your top played phone game. Oh, nice. I would love to play this on my phone. I used to play it on PlayStation. I just got it for Steam semi recently. I'm like, why am I so broke? Now I remember I gave away all my money to remove 2 cards. Whoops. And I'm about to go see another vendor with still no money. You saw EQ Dev pronounce it in a video, Luckling. Yeah, yeah. So that's how we got the answer. There was a dev that did like a Q&A one time and officially answered it. Like we could put that whole debate to rest. It's official. It's canon. It's Luckling. I know people don't agree with that. Not everybody is in agreement with that, but it is. It's true. You know? They're going to have to learn to cope with that. So, I'm taking Glacier. A lot of times I've been really struggling with having enough block by the end. It's canon that snakes kick. It doesn't make it right. Hey, speaking of stuff that was early on in EverQuest, I got one that I can't really find any evidence of, and I almost feel stupid bringing it up because what if I'm wrong? I could have sworn that they had effect and effect, right? The one with an E and the one with an A. I could have sworn they had them switched. Anytime it was supposed to be effect with an E, it was affect with an A, and anytime it was supposed to be affect with an A, it was effect with an E. I could have sworn the whole game had it backwards, and then one day they patched that. Am I misremembering something from 26 years ago, or was that true? Can anybody back me up on that? If not in every situation, there was at least a few situations where it was backwards. Sounds like something the dev would have messed up. Yeah, right? Well, they're not English majors, I don't think. All right. I like defragment. I don't know if I'm going to get the build I want. It's still very early. I don't have any pieces to, kind of an orb-centric deck right now, but let's see what happens. Let's transform a card. Let's transform Strike and see what we get. Hopefully something good. Your next power card is played twice. Sure, it's a rare. I'll take a rare. So what's the Quorum and DBG agreement? There's a lot. There's a lot. We heard straight from Secret's mouth, no new server, right? They can't even relaunch Quorum once it reaches the end of its timeline. 1,200 player cap. After that, they need a queue. And no more custom content. No more custom class combinations. You know, you can't have XR Rogue or XR Ranger, etc., etc. The Froglock models. Got the big X. You can't have Froglocks wearing robes. You know, sad day. Honestly, I think it's a sad day. But the big most concerning part is the no new server line, which was not in the official Discord to Reddit post, right? Like I read a Reddit post that reported on the Discord announcement. The part that says no new server was when specifically pressed about it, Secret said that. I play other things than P99 Red. Oh no, 89. Sometimes. How you doing? It's good to see you. Sometimes. On CHEWSDAY, sometimes I choose to branch out. Today, playing a little Slay the Spire right now, but I was just playing EQ. We're just getting started on Slay the Spire, you could say. But This is an elite fight, right? Like a mini boss. It can be really tough. Hits you hard. It does this thing, right? He's gonna debuff me. He's gonna lower like all my stats for the rest of this fight. And you know, so the longer this goes on, the worse it gets for me. Okay, so Amplify becomes a dead card once you played all your powers. That's good. Dead card in hand. Play it. Doesn't do anything, but I can play it. When I have more powers, I'll be so glad I had this Amplify. Sure of it. I gotta go aggressive. This guy's gonna stay alive way too long. This thing, this shape. Yeah, this is P99 red. This is what it looks like. Okay, if you had a 1-to-1 conversion with P99, the 1 to 3 things you tell them to do and drive more pop and playability. I mean, we need a new red. We never had the new red. We never had a fair shake. It's just gotta happen. Have I played Postal yet? Not yet. I have not. I'm excited to though. I think Postal 2 especially looks really exciting to me because it's like 3D. Postal, like the first Postal looks really fun, but I can see Postal 2 being highly immersive. You know what I mean? Thing's almost done. But yeah, Malknai. Yes, this is very similar to Red 99 in that regard. I'm just punching down right now. Uh, your rightmost orb triggers past the whoops. What I click? Double clicked. Okay. I don't really. I do like Sunder. You know what? I'm gonna take Sunder. Fixed main hand damage bonus. Yeah, the bow quest thing. Make plug shove linked out on the other side and unroot the dragons. See, okay. I like plugging. I think plugging is classic as hell. But if it wasn't a thing like that drug box did, you know, we'd play like that. That's fine. Whoop. I almost hit cancel. That would have been terrible. What is this? A Lagavulin. Yeah. It's from Scotland or something, right? Or I forget. We imported a bunch of used barrels for them when I worked at this brewery, and we barrel aged stuff in Lagavulin barrels. It was like a big deal that year. I forget what it was. I forget where it came from though. Drug boxes had some combat mechanics tied to plugging. Yeah. So hey, Ox, if you're watching, what's going on? I haven't talked to you in a while. Miss you, buddy. Anyway, Ox one time figured out how to plug on Drugbox, and I forget who was very curious how they did that, and you know, and Ox didn't want to tell them, and so they started pressing me to press Ox to tell them how to do it, and Ox never told me. I don't know. I really never found out. There was some way. All right. All right, the lightning strikes. I'm like, why is this thing still alive? I did the math. It should die. I didn't hit the button to make the lightning go yet. Another defrag. So we're getting towards a power build, right? Running the power cards. I guess I'll take the Sunder in the starting hand. When it's good, it's good. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, hosting. Oh yeah, yeah. The hosting Quorum on the same rack as P99. I heard that, but I didn't see that mentioned in the in any post. Do you have anything you can any sources you can cite just so I can link it and read it and all that stuff? I like to be thorough in the Ishiwatari EQ. It's good to see you. We're just getting started over here. We were playing EverQuest for a bit, and now I'm playing Slay the Spire. But as always, the mouth is moving. I was gonna say I haven't taken any damage yet this run. Clearly, I have. My HP is beat. Doing the hamster wheel thing today, huh, Ishiwatari? That's how it goes. That's how it goes. All right, let's see. A genetic algorithm, still pretty early game. This could be really good. Hand of Greed could be really good. I wish I could pick up Bottled Tornado right now. But I'm going with Heatsink. I'm doing the build, right? The power build. Can you post link? Yeah, definitely. You could, or post in the Discord. That way, even after the stream, it'll be available. You can post it both places, you know? Whatever's convenient. I'm not trying to force you to do anything. I appreciate you providing me with the source that I so desperately need. Yeah, let me here. Click that link. I don't have the exclamation point commands enabled, but I'm ready. I'm ready with that link right now. Ooh. Ooh. 50% chance he returns. I want to win. I don't want to fight this monster. I just want to leave. I pushed my luck. I got that. Leaving happy. Heat sink into the defrag. Do this. Double buffer. I don't like to have my potions full. I like to have space to actually accept a potion when I can. When possible. This is good. Because when he gets to half his health, he splits. So, ending him just above half, well, it's perfect. Now, interrupt his attack with that. He will get very beat up and then split. Thank you. Thank you, Melanie. Appreciate that. Okay. Oh, okay. So you link to the Quorum Discord. Let me join that. How do I? Can somebody invite me to the Quorum Discord? I don't know where it is. Is I see the links you provided, but I can't click them yet. I think I can kill this. Yeah, they both die this turn. We're good. Perfect. There we go. Now I'm in the Quorum Discord. Now I can see these links. Thank you. Perfect. We are in. Let me keep this moving along a little bit. Skipping that one. Rogan acknowledged it. So Rogan's active in the Quorum Discord too. This doesn't change operations. Secrets of Code will still be managing and running everything. We're just providing the VMs. Interesting. Thank you. Perfect. Perfect. Let's transform a card. I'm hoping for a power. Any power will do. Any power will do. That's a decent one. Another rare. We're getting lucky with the rares. Still early game. What was the boss? Oh, no. This boss is kind of tough, but not that tough. Smith. Upgrade the heat sink. Card draw is always top tier, you know? You gotta draw cards to play cards. You gotta play cards to win. It's just basic math. And amplify the defrag and still have a whole energy left over. Let's do it. Right, yeah, being virtual machines is very good, I think. I think the best part about it for us is that, you know, the game is from a long time ago now. So that kind of implies it's not impossible to run. Damn, I'm going to take so much damage here. Oof. I get a full heal after this fight. I just can't survive too many more attacks like this. I think I'm out of powers, right? All the powers are played. At least they're doubled. My focus is very high. Surviving this hit. Surviving this hit, I'd say. No problem. But it will do another big attack again. It kind of cycles through its moves. But we will see it. Maybe I rebound a glacier. How about that? Oh, I can survive this. Oh, the burn will hurt me. I gotta do a little bit. I need the powers that do lightning, right? There's a power that says whenever you play a power, channel one lightning orb. Then we'll be really building over here. Right now, still kind of derping around. Slow but steady. Oof, I'm taking a lot of damage this round between its attack and these burns. Let's hope for something good. Rebound the zap. I think that might be okay. Good. Good. Oof, but I think it adds a bunch, yeah, burn plus to the deck. That's problematic. Another zap. Something. Let's see here. Glacier dual cast, I think, kills it. All right. What's 13 times 2, 26. Oh, yes. Yes. Glacier into a dual cast. Good. First boss down. Let's go. Fruit juice. Alright. As good as Amplify is. Yeah. Can't have too many amplifies in deck. It's already gonna be dead draws. Fission. I mean, maybe I could kind of combo with that. Hyper Beam, just no. Losing the 3 focus is just too brutal. Energy and draw a card. I mean, yeah, sure. Kinda. I'll do the Amplify. It'll be a dead card a lot of times, but it's good also. Okay. You have some gold, and I have the Smiling Mask, so let's go for vendors. These guys are easy, just annoying. If you have a melt or whatever, remove all armor and then hit for 10. Kill this thing so easy, but without that, it could be a little annoying. Dang, taking damage. I thought I was onto something, but I ran short. Okay. Now loop is good. Ball lightning, I think, is what I need more though. Upgraded, so a couple extra damage there. No big deal. Nice to have. Taking a little bit of beats here. I mean, this one's not bad, but it doesn't fit my build. I gotta go with boot sequence could be good because I do need block like all the time, but just gonna skip. They're not really helping my build. What I get? Oh, good. Whenever I get a curse, increase my max HP, and whenever I open a chest, I obtain a curse. So that's synergy right there. What I should have done was 20 damage with a potion and then Sunder to finish it off. Get 3 more energy and then do what I did. That's what I should have done. That's alright. It should be alright. We'll see. There's a power that says lightning hits all enemies. Channel 2 lightning. If you upgrade it, it says channel 3 lightning. I want that. That's the power that I'm missing for this combo right now. Go. Alright. Honestly, these are all good. Genetic algorithm, we're 21 floors deep. We can get this really high. This one's just amazing, but it doesn't really work with my build. I'm not really requiring vulnerable. I'm not doing direct attacks too often. Draw 3 cards for 1 energy. That's just good. It's okay. Oh, here we go. Self-repair. I needed this. It's not the 1 card I wanted, but it's pretty good. Smith up the Smith up an amplify. Because I have more energy per turn now. You know, there's stuff happening. Yes. Do this. Do this. Taking some beats here. I will recover 14 HP at the end of the fight. I just need to survive to the end of the fight. I'm wounded. Mm, 20 damage. I don't think I want a dual cast. I want that lightning right there. Was this an elite fight or is this a regular fight? Oh, it's an elite. Okay, whew. If I'm getting my ass beat this bad on a regular fight, I'm in trouble. Luckily, it's elite. Yeah, maybe before the end of the stream, I'll pop back into EQ. Maybe. Look at this bunk hand. 3 wounds and 2 amplifies. That's so messed up. I'm gonna have to draw 3 cards here. I was saving that. Capacitor, gain 2 orb slots. So it's not bad. It's a power. So it combos. I think I'll rest. I hate to rest, you know, but I would also hate to die. Let's keep the HP up. Oh, that's a rough curse. You really sucked at these deck builder games. I'm starting to really like them. This was the first one I played. Slay the Spire was. Since then, I played a bunch. It's still one of my favorites in the genre, you know? Open some beats here. So it's looks like the server is lifelocked to secret. It's not able to transfer. Server shut down or transfer to server is shut down or transferred to Daybreak on death. Thought Rogan has previously said P99 had contingency plans to continue. Interesting. Oh, the Nine Kings game, Antonio's Block Party. Yeah, that was I still am playing that a lot. I want to hit level 99 on what are they called? Lab rats. That's one of the achievements. Level 99 lab rats, and I've yet to come anywhere close. And also year 99, another achievement I need. I've gotten to the 80s. It's tough. It gets really tough after that. But yeah, thank you for that interesting point, Malkni. You're right. There's very interesting difference there. I wonder if that's what Rogan was alluding to with the contingency plan, though. Like, it's going to Daybreak, you know? A bad contingency plan is also a contingency plan, I guess. I can't play. That counted as my 3rd card? Oh my gosh. Wow. Because of this stupid normality. But I thought this wouldn't be so bad. Cursed Key. Get a little curse every now and then as a treat. Which is fine. But nah, had to give me an actual terrible curse. Not one of those, like, you know. The whole agreement is full of wild little intrigues. I know. I like that there's some transparency with it. Even though listen, I don't think it's full transparency, but that's just, you know, proof. I made it up. I don't know. To me, it feels like there's, You know, this is only some of it. This is the approved for public discussion agreement version. We already know there was some left out of it because the no new servers wasn't mentioned. That should be pretty important, pretty high up in the, things in the agreement. I think I could sunder it to death. Right? It won't die, but then it'll die. Back up to 70 health. Take the lead. Ooh, no. Recursion. Recursion is wonderful, right? Helps me kind of keep things in the cycle. The glacier or the... Hmm. 53, huh? A lot. Bunch of orb slots. I will heal up 14 at the end of the fight. So I could play 2 more cards. Or no. Yeah. 1 more card. I shouldn't even played the defend. I would have got 1 more block if I didn't. If I end with 0, I get 6. Playing defend gave me 5. Whoops. Bad math. Another recursion's always good. I could skip an elite. I'd get 1 less relic that way. I'm going to fight the elite. And if I take big beats and then lose the boss fight, this was the moment. This was the moment where I chose to lose. We'll see. Wish me luck. Might skip those. Not really skip, but just for now. I got 21 more floors to go. Let's go. Now, if I do the capacitor first, I'll have 9 block. If I do zap first, I'll have 7 block. Plus 5, 12 block. Do the zap first. Something like that. Something like that. My math was maybe a little off, but... taking actually absolutely brutal beats right here. That hurts. Bunch of wounds. I still got the curse coming up. Probably next turn. Good chance. Yeah, this just chatting stream is flagged PvP. Exactly. Watch out. We got the toxic battle cleric. That was honestly fun. I hope my group had as much fun as I did with the AoE poison proc going off all the time. I thought that was really fun and cool. But I'm also silly like that. Alright, let's rest up. Get ready for this boss fight coming up. It's a tough boss. Well, one of my least favorite boss fights in the game coming up. Ooh. Ooh. Ah, wow. That's such a tempting offer. I only have a couple. I have 1 strike. I could trade that 1 strike for 5 bites. But I lose 26 max HP. That would put me down to 60 max HP. I might. Nah. I think that's the first time I refused the offer of the vampires, but I'm in too good of a position right now with the my other heal. And my max HP is actually pretty high. Anyway, here's this guy. I hate this guy. The Champ is his name. He's a jerk. The jerk, more like. I can cast Sunder for 0 now. That's really nice. Thank you, Monkey Paw. Or Mummified Hand, sorry. Called it Monkey Paw. Oh, normality hit me. Sucks. Womp womp. I gotta get rid of that. Next time I'm at a vendor, I need to use 50 gold, remove a card, or remove that curse. Hopefully before I get another terrible curse. And then I have 2. Good turn, good turn. I was like, I need to amplify the self-repair. It's the boss fight. I'm actually not repairing at all. Right? It's just, it is what it is this time. No. I knew I was going to draw that because drawing 4 cards, it was one of the next 4. I'd rather get it over with, right? Alright, no more powers left in the deck, which means all these amplifies are dead draws. Might as well be wound. Something useless. Oh, I did it. I cast block when I shouldn't have, right? I would have got one more block. If I lose by 1, that was the moment. We've done it now, he says. Yuck. It's a big attack. $38 HP left. Okay, something good. Come on. Lost 2 down, 1 to go. Fairy in a bottle. That should do it, right? That should be the thing that makes me win. Bias cognition's pretty good. Reboot's pretty good. I'm going to take reboot, and I'm going to pray that it's not the Time Lord, right? The Time Lord is not the boss my deck is built for. Extra energy versus boss and elite. Oh, it's the Time Lord. No. I built a combo deck. I'm fighting the Time Lord. Gotta love it. Okay, there's a vendor coming up. I'll heal most of this back if I win this turn. Gotta win this turn. X Lightning. Bender, help me. Doesn't have the card I need for my build. Unfortunate. This is an amazing one. See the cards in order? I might take that, but first let me... Without further ado, normality, finally, get out of my deck. Upgrade to attacks. Cards are shown in order. Let's go. Kind of game breaking. Starting this fight at 82. Hopefully I don't regret my decision here. I just realized it's 6 o'clock. I gotta go to dinner, actually. Everybody who's been hanging out, sorry I couldn't finish this run. I'll let you know how it goes. If I finish it off stream, I'll let you know. I'm really hoping to win this one. But, floor 37 out of 50. We're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you for chatting with me about Quarm. I really appreciate it. Zilkril, I know. Tilted that I can't beat this boss. Too strong. No, it's totally going down. Shuffle all your cards into your draw 4. Might. Let's do it, let's shuffle. Such brutal damage, honestly. 7 times 6. Why's it gotta be so freaking rude like that? Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Zilkril, I appreciate you. Ishiwatari. Malni, thank you for discussing all that Quarm stuff. It was good to get your perspective on it. And Tony's Block Party, always a friggin' pleasure. Swish, I know you were here. Hurley, Fardotron, Captain Long Whistle, Roscoe Jenkins. Really appreciate all of you just hanging out today. I did a just chatting stream. Dankton, don't think I forgot about you. I really appreciate you. And the dude, you could say we're just getting started over here. Just getting started to go, you know, raid another channel. Let's go see what we see. I'm looking for an EverQuest stream, I think. Because, you know, it's the topic of the day. We're always talking about EQ over here. Let's see, category EverQuest. Who's live? Who's live? Who could we go show some love to? Broken Stoic is live. Galaxy Cheetah is live. Sanguine is live. Let's go say what's up to Sanguine, alright? Show him some love. From Red 99. Oh, how about the haters? Hey, haters. Don't think I forgot. I don't forget. Alright. Zilkril. Let's let the haters know on Thursday. Rise and grind. It'll be a special for the haters. How about that? Let's go raid Sanguine. He's playing green, it looks like. He's an EverQuest enjoyer, just like me or you. See you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out.